Welcome back to Mind Pump TV, guys. I'm your host, Danny Matranga, and today I want to share with you the number one mistake I see people making in the gym when they're trying to develop their upper traps, and also share with you the best way you can go about fixing it to really develop a nice set of shoulders. Let's get into it. Hey guys, real quick, before we dive into the trap tips and tricks, you really want to develop your upper back. It's not just about the traps. You need to develop the delts and the shoulders as well. It all runs together when it comes to creating a well-developed physique. So beyond today's video, I want to be sure you get our free shoulder guide. That'll help you really put it all together and develop a nice upper back and set of shoulders that really complements everything you're working on. So link for that is in the description. And without further ado, let's dive into the trap stuff. Okay, so the upper trapezius or upper traps, the part of the trap muscle that extends from the shoulders kind of into the neck area, there isn't really a muscle group that when it's developed makes you look bigger than the traps. Like seriously, if you have nice developed traps, it kind of instantly tells people, all right, this person lifts weights. That's why so many people are interested in developing their traps. However, I see many more people doing trap exercises incorrectly than I do seeing them done correctly. And the number one perpetrator of this is the shrug. People make the mistake of picking up a dumbbell, rolling the shoulder back, and then rolling the shoulder forward like this, instead of actually shortening the trap. So if you just put your finger right here on your trapezius, where it runs from the shoulder into the neck, and you roll your shoulder back and forth like that, you're not gonna feel it do much. It's not gonna shorten, it's not really gonna contract. And when we talk about growing and developing a muscle, we need those things to happen. So you can't expect to get lackluster results. However, again, putting your finger there, if you bring this shoulder up instead, you'll feel it shorten for sure. And if you bring the arm out a little bit and do it, you'll feel it shorten even more. So I'm gonna show you guys two exercises that I prefer to that incorrectly performed shrug right now. Okay, so when most people try to train their upper traps, okay, that's the portion of the traps that we see extending kind of from the shoulder up into the neck area. When that muscle is well developed, it really makes a physique pop and it really makes people look like they lift weights. So it's a muscle people particularly want to develop. However, they do it wrong way more often than they do it right in most instances. So play along with me really quick. Take your finger, put it right on your trapezius as it runs down from the neck into the shoulder. You'll find it's the kind of meaty portion of tissue that sits right here. Put your finger right there. And here's what people do. They grab a dumbbell and they roll the arm forward and back, okay? Feel the trap. It does some stuff, but it doesn't shorten all the way. It doesn't contract all the way. Now, instead of doing that, put your arm out a little bit and pull the shoulder up. And you'll feel that trap contracts almost like a bicep. It shortens up a little bit more. That's the effect we want when we're training this muscle. So I'm sure you've seen it in the gym. It looks something like this. Guy walks over to the heaviest dumbbells in the gym that he can hold, grabs a hold of them and starts rolling the shoulders back and forward, leaning into it, going really fast, up and back, forward and back, up and back, forward and back. And while there is some trap happening there and you're gonna get some sensation, you're probably not gonna develop them as well as if you just stand tall with the chest up, the core tight, and you shrug the dumbbells upward, holding for 1 to 2 seconds and then coming down. So that would be an improvement there immediately. I'll show you something else that you can do that I really like. If you turn to the side, okay, I like to do my shrugs turn to the side so I can better see. Lean forward slightly. And I like to cue pulling the elbows and shoulders up and back. So not just straight up. I like to actually do this, up and back, and I feel a much stronger contraction in the upper trap. Now, the last thing that you can do that might help is you can actually bend the elbows. This is often called a monkey shrug. To create the arm angle I have here, you'll notice my upper arms go out to the side a little bit, and then you shrug this way. Okay, and one of the nice things about that is if we put the arm out away from the body, approximately 30 degrees, the traps, fibers, make a nice straight line and they can really pull the arm. So we put them in a position where they can do a lot more work than if they're just down here going forward and back. So if you're doing shrugs like this still, what I would recommend is you do one of the three options I just showed you. Stand in place and just shrug straight up and down. Once you've got the hold of that, turn to the side so you can kind of see and try to shrug up and back. And lastly, try something like a monkey shrug where you have about 30 degrees of what we would call abduction, or just the fancy way of saying move your arm out to the side a little bit and shrug with dumbbells. You could do that on a cable machine, and you can even do it just by holding a barbell or a Smith machine, something that will allow you to be in this position. So again, guys, just to wrap it up, stop doing your shrugs front to back. You don't need to go insanely heavy with them. The goal should always be to shorten that muscle and contract it under control. And again, the traps are a huge part of developing a strong upper back and shoulders. So I don't want to leave you guys hanging with just this. I know that most people who really want to develop their upper back and shoulders need to do more than just traps. So I want to be sure you guys get a hold of our free big shoulder guide at mindpumpfree.com. I'm going to link the shoulder guide in the description down below, but I want to be sure you guys check all the guides we have out. We have tons of free guides on mobility, nutrition, and training. So please go ahead, head over to mindpumpfree.com, check it out. If you found the video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on so you never miss a video. And thanks again for watching Mind Pump TV.